News of the death of Osama bin Laden has triggered an international day of remembrance and mourning for victims of terrorism around the world. Secretary General Ban Ki-moon spoke on behalf of the United Nations, condemning al-Qaeda's radicalism and reaffirming the UN's commitment to fighting terrorism in all of its forms.
This is a day to remember the victims and families of victims here in the United States and everywhere in the world. United Nations will continue to fight against terrorism and will lead this campaign to fight against terrorism.
In New York, where almost 3,000 people were killed in terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, bin Laden's death was met with a sense of solemn relief. Hundreds gathered around the site of the World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan, also known as Ground Zero, to share the moment with their fellow New Yorkers and to remember those who perished on September 11th.
I'm proud to be a New Yorker. I was disappointed 2 years ago when there was no construction. Now I'm just so happy that they're making progress, and more good news this morning when I put the radio on. So I'm just very happy to be a New Yorker. I love my country. My parents were immigrants from Europe, and it's a good day to be a New Yorker.
For me, it just, I felt the compulsion to come down here today because I just wanted to, I don't know, to be close to the site where such a horrific thing happened that changed the world. And I'm not so sure that it's going to, there's a sense of relief, somewhat, a sense of victory, because we've been chasing this guy for such a long time that I'm hoping it brings some relief to some of the families.
For those who lost loved ones to terror attacks, Osama bin Laden's death brought a sense of justice. Jack Zelmanowicz knows all too well the misery caused by terrorism. His brother Abe died on September 11th as he tried to help a quadriplegic friend evacuate the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Zelmanowicz was encouraged by the news of bin Laden's death and hoped that it would prevent other families from experiencing the tragedy that his had suffered.
It finally happened. Justice finally found the target, and it was something that had to be done, and thank God they finally got around to it. The fact that they found the violent, despicable people who did such damage to innocent human beings was finally caught and paid the price. Maybe that's a good message for the rest of the world to know, to think twice, and that America is a country of goodness and togetherness and helps the whole world, and we want to live in peace with everyone.
There's a calm sense of relief around Ground Zero in New York today as Osama bin Laden, who brought so much suffering to so many people, has finally been brought to justice. There's also a renewed commitment to honor the memories of his many victims and victims of terror around the world. Connor Schratz, South South News, New York.